Good morning, welcome back to casa.texpina. We're on build day number 197. It's Monday, All Saints Day, so only about half of our crew is here today. Oh, sorry, All Souls Day. About half of our crew is here today. It is actually a holiday for the Philippines, as well as a lot of them are doing a little bit of recovery and whatever from the typhoon and rains that rolled through yesterday. Our area pretty much only had light thunderstorms and a little bit of wind. We were very fortunate at this area in our part of the Philippines. Further south of Manila, some of the rest of the islands were not so lucky. You may see on some of the other build vlogs and vloggers that are down further south of Manila, especially the let's see, where was it? Catanduanes, where it made first landfall at a Cat 5 equivalent hurricane status, or super typhoon as they call it here. They got hit pretty hard. Going through the Bicol region, they also got hit very hard. Close to the Mayon volcano, the active volcano there, they got hit pretty hard as well. They had, with all the rains, they had a lot of torrential rains and lahar, as they call it, or mud flows, ash and mud flows. So they've hit pretty hard down that direction, and fairly well devastated. So pray for those folks down in that area. We have a quick recovery and a very minimal, if any, loss of life. I believe they've already reported the passing of 10 souls. So pray for those, and hope that everybody else is doing safe. With the half a crew we've got, we're going to go ahead and walk around and see where everybody's at this morning. So let's get started. Alright, we're going to head on into the building. Mr. Stanley and Mr. Rafi are doing sanding and skim coating here in the front part of the house. And let's go ahead and take a look back here in the master's bath. I believe Mr. Allen, our carpenter, is hanging the door, prepping the door to be hung here for the water closet area. So that's what he's going to be working on for a little while. Come on out back into the main part of the house. Mr. Willie is continuing with the tile installation up here in the front. Good morning. Tile installation up here in the living room area with the assistance of Mr. Jason. Let's go ahead and take a look in the back of the house. I did not see anybody in the back part, but we can take a look. Mr. Alex was continuing to work on the linen closet. And I believe that's it for here in this section. Walking through bedroom Jack and Jill, bedroom 3, bedroom 2. Alright. Nothing up in the stairs. Our Tyler for this section is not in today. Okay. Engineer's brother-in-law Al is here. He's kind of directing a little bit of traffic this morning since our foreman is out due to medical conditions. Take a look back here. I hear Mr. Alex banging away, so that means he's hiding in the closet over here. There's Mr. Alex. So that's where he's at this morning. And then we have over in the dirty kitchen area, Mr. JR is doing a little bit of painting. We're painting on the looks like we're painting the you're painting the roof or the walls? Yes. Looks Looks like we're painting walls this morning, on roof this morning. This is the same paint that they'll use for the walls as well, so we'll probably do both while he's in here. And in here in the pantry area, Mr. Wilson is continuing with skim coating. And we have our electrician out here as well, Mr. Cho, and he and Mr. Gabby are pulling wires and roughing in conduit. So that's a wrap up of where everybody's at this morning. Alright, mid-morning we're getting some paint on the ceiling. Watch Mr. JR here. Big roller in the big bucket. And then we're now sanding some of the skim coat here in the pantry area. Still working on tile in the living room, going into the breakfast nook area. So Mr. Willie here is wrapping up what our foreman was doing on Saturday. Working our way into the breakfast nook. Out here in the hallway, as I showed y'all guys earlier, Mr. Rafi is continuing skim coat. Mr. Alex is working on the shelving for our linen closet. And Mr. Stanley is starting to paint the first coat here in the dining room area. We got our door hung for the water closet area. Nice big door. So the varnishers, when they come back tomorrow, will take this off the hinges, mark where it belongs, and start working on it. A little bit of fill, a little bit of sand. They'll sand out some of the water damage. Stains. It's not really damage, it's just stain. Still got a little bit of fill that they can put in. Here in the walk-in closet, Mr. Allen's continuing to work on our shelving. So we got to continue working this side today. Now that he's got that door hung over there. And you see Miss Emie with hands on hips. She's doing her inspection pose. How's the inspection? So while the foreman's out today, our other tiler, Mr. Willie, is continuing to make up the edges. So we're gonna finish up the outside edges of the living room. Also this area over here by the breakfast bar. So that's what Mr. Willie and Mr. Jason are going to continue working on the rest of the day. Alright, now that we got the skim coat, the walls skim coated and sanded, Mr. Wilson is going back and painting. So that's what he just finished up here. Now he's going back to skim coat down here for the second coat in different places. So this wall here hasn't got a second coat on it yet. That's what he's getting ready to do. So I'm gonna put this side, and then I'll go back and paint like he has up here on the bottom of the staircase. Mr. JR over here in the dirty kitchen, starting to do about the same. They're doing a little bit of skim coat and paint here on the lower sections. Let's go back out here. Like I said earlier, Mr. Willie is continuing to work the small side sections for the tile. So today he's done this section here, right along the wall, all the way around over here. So keep people off of it. They got some different little roadblocks up. Make sure people don't walk on it. Say, no, don't walk here, this is new. We got a little more skim coat going here in the master bath. So they're skim coating the inside edges of the door frame openings. Okay. and Mr. Alex and Mr. Allen are continuing to work on the cabinetry here inside of the master closet. And last but not least, Mr. Stanley up on top, doing a little sanding of the skim coat here in the upper part of the linen closet and walk-in closet for bedroom number 3. So that's the working update. All right, so my guys up here are helping out the electrician. We're pulling cable and fiber through the conduit to get it down to the first floor level. That's what he's got here. He's got a conduit that goes down by the main panels. Goes down by the main panels, and then it goes from there out to the service drop at the pole at the end of the corner there in the back of the house. So that's what these guys have been working on most of the day, getting all the cable and fiber run from the service drop in the corner up through this conduit, and then they're going to start putting conduit around it and run it back over to the office area where our main service, our main comm hub is going to be. And this is what it looks like on the bottom side where they're pulling it out, getting it all rolled up, as they're going to connect it from this side here and pull it back through to the service drop that's going to be coming from over here in the corner. And hopefully this is where we're expecting our service drop will be for our cable and fiber internet coming down here. Alright, so we've got our cable and fiber run to the service pole. They'll finish connecting this piece a little later, and this goes all the way into the house. Continues to run over this way. Comes in this small one down here and goes up behind the panel up into the ceiling of the attic, where I showed you earlier that Mr. Gabby and Jason were pulling fiber through the attic, and that's going to run all the way over to the other side of the house through the crawl space in between the floor and the ceiling until we go over to the office on that side. That's where our comm closet's going to be, so everything's going to run over there. And Mr. Willie has been steadily working on continuing the floor tiles here in the breakfast nook and living room area. So he completed the ones that were along the edge of the wall there, down this edge right here, and then this edge here going on into this area. So more to come tomorrow. Also back here in this area, Mr. JR, one of our painters, and Mr. Wilson have both been doing skim coat and paint and sand throughout both of their respective sections. All day. So we're slowly getting these individual rooms taken care of as far as paint, skim coat and paint, and not necessarily in that order. And one more spot. Mr. Alex and Mr. Allen have been back here in the master closet working on the cabinetry all day. So this is coming along little by little. Miss Emie should have plenty of spaces to put all of her stuff. Plenty of spaces for all of her stuff. Alright folks, it's almost yabba dabba do time. They're just about ready to ring that bell. You know, it says a lot about a work crew that you have when you have those days where the supervision is not able to make it into the office or onto the job site, as it were. For the crew to work without supervision and still get forward progress done says a lot about the crew. And I think we have a very good crew, and I've mentioned it on several occasions. We're blessed with a good crew here, very great crew, lots of skill, and they are dedicated to the job they're doing. So today was another example of that, shining example of that. Very pleased. It was a great day for a Monday post typhoon, and still continuing with work, starting the work week. So if y'all like today's video, please give us a big thumbs up. If you'd like to see more of these videos, hit the casa.texpina star right over here and you'll be subscribed. Hit the bell icon just below the view screen. You'll be notified of our next video upload for your viewing pleasure. So until we see you again tomorrow, have a great afternoon and God bless.